Then I ain't going nowhere. I ain't blowing no smoke. I mean, I've been sober, but you should've known it. And I wasn't going.
Tap in, everybody. It is your girl, Midnight. Happy Sunday. Giving everybody a little time before we get to the good things of it all. But happy Sunday anyway. Yeah, I'm loving that pic that sister put up, so that's gonna stay in my little lineup. You understand me? It's gonna stay. But tap in, cause yeah, I got something to say, and I'm gonna need some answers too. Whether I get the answers I need or not, Midnight gonna pursue how she wanna pursue after this one right here, though. But y'all tap in. So what's up again? It is your girl, Midnight. Happy Sunday, everybody. We is here. My title do say talk time. Do anybody got something to tell me? Do anybody got something that they need to be telling me? Because after this live is done, the two people that actually do need to be explaining themselves to me, Midnight can't see, but somebody gonna make sure that Midnight get the memo, and I am looking for a response. That I am. But rather those two people decide to give me one, Midnight is still going to move in the manner that she needs to move. Because one thing about it is, after me looking through all of my facts, going down a little bit of my YouTube content, going in my personal phone to look into my block list that I'm going to present y'all with a lot of this shit right here. I do know that these two people, and then hearing clips of content creators live, where I was hearing also, not just on the live that I heard the shit on, but it was some other shit that I screen recorded on Omega's live, because I watch her. You know what I'm saying? um I'm gonna come up with my own narrative, whether they explain themselves or not. See, I'm gonna go down memory lane and speaking to y'all about 24, but I don't have to show those receipts because see, I already know who those people were and who those people were involved in doing that. But I am gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I said before, now we're here once again. Okay. Before I get started, I'm going in my comment section. I did get a few clips from some old YouTube lives that I did that I had to reference to because around the time frame of 25, this is when this really started. So remember yesterday when I was saying that this could have potentially started in 25? I know for a fact one of you itches was looking in 25. I know it. And like I said, the ones that I'm looking for a response from, whether you give it to me or not, your name will be handed over. It don't matter. It don't matter. Trust me, I know your name, I know your date of birth, and that's all I need to know. Okay, the rest is history after that. So whether y'all two want to respond to y'all little group, wherever this supposed to be put up, y'all gonna hear the clips. The groups that y'all put all that shit in when before it was getting sent to other people. I'm talking in that narrative. So you gonna give me a response because somebody gonna make sure I get it. And we gonna talk about during this time how certain creators that are now on good terms was not on good terms at the time. And this is where I was hearing all of the things too. You know what I'm saying? This is also key factors that I use to also say, definitely what's going on in 25. Most definitely was. So let me go in my comment section real quick and speak to y'all before I get to talking. How you doing, Miss Evelyn? Thank you for the share. I see you in here. Thank you for them hearts. I see Miss Jennifer in here. How you doing? Y'all make sure y'all tap the live. Y'all can share this live. Miss Augusta, how are you? She says hello, Midnight, your most favorite agent. And everyone, how you doing? I see Sis in here. Sis, you see what I'm using? I got this in my lineup. I like this. Like I said, when I don't know how y'all did all this right here with the creating of those things right there. But I got this in my lineup. This gonna be one of my backgrounds I use for a little while because I do like it though. I think I like it. What's going on, sis? um Right. She said, hey, I'm loving your background. I think this gonna be something that I use too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make myself a few, I think. I know they say chat GBT, you can get some off there, but I got a couple apps of my own that I make beautiful ones as well. So I think I like it. Miss Kira Johnson from YouTube is in here. How you doing, Kira Johnson? How is you doing? It was a very loud night, LOL. But during the day, I was with my sister and nephew. That's what's up. Okay. So y'all have a way of coming through here through YouTube. You also can be through here through your most favorite agent, Midnights, okay? Or Facebook. Off the book. How you doing, Miss Jackie? All right. Loving the background, me too. That's why I said I gotta cop it. I gotta cop that. Gotta get that. I gotta keep that because I really like that. I really like that. I really like that. Listen. Okay, so I think I got a lot of my things in order. You know what I'm saying? I think I got it in order, but let me go up some. Okay. I believe I got a lot of things in order. Okay, so like I was saying, this is titled "It's Talk Time," and do anybody got something to say to midnight? Now I'm giving y'all the opportunity to be able to say something or respond because, like I said, although I don't see neither one of y'all, I'm sure somebody's gonna get me the damn memo like they never had a problem doing before. But I am looking for a response though, as it pertains to these people. What do you mean? And then not to mention the two people that is in question that supposedly be behind starting looking into what it is Midnight do, y'all ended up linking up on the phone. I want to say if it wasn't last year, y'all weren't considering doing it. It was definitely this year. You ended up relinking to where y'all was on the phone. So was y'all having a discussion about where Midnight worked? What was y'all doing? Because y'all had already did the digging of knowing where I worked. I'm hearing that this is being placed on in groups and all type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that right there. So, like I said, answers is gonna be had, and whether it be had or not, and I really don't want to hear the bullshit stories that neither one of y'all really gonna have to say. But like I said, your names is gonna be took it down, and the rest is just gonna be history. Because, like I said, I am sick and tired of y'all doing what y'all do preschool games on here, playing games with people information. Some of y'all need to be actually humble in the way that you need to be humble, to where you know that that's not cool to be fondling around or playing around with somebody's information. I also took into record that when I went into my phone and looked into my personal phone, when I was getting those messages starting from motherfucking month of May of 25 into June of 25 until I changed my number then recently. Okay. I changed my number in June of 25, that first number that they were texting me on my personal line. That number got changed clearly after 25 of June. Okay. I recently changed my number 4 months ago in this year. Okay. But we talking about the change number that I did in 25. Okay. Where those idiots had my numbers, a few of y'all. You know what I'm saying? A few of y'all had my number at that point in time, especially when you were actually sending me all type of bullshit ass messages on my personal phone through text now numbers. And then I got to looking at the way that shit was wrote, how it was said and all of this, and it's just making all kinds of sense to the people that potentially involved, and looking so deep of wondering what it is Midnight is doing as far as her work go. And then reaching, because you're going to hear clips. Now I'm going to show you my Google as far as the day that I screen recorded this shit, because the clips you're going to hear, they have been broke down. I did not use all of the clips that I had screen recorded, but you're going to hear important pieces. And that's all I want you to hear is important pieces of the clip. But you're going to see the date, which was recently last year around after Christmas. And I'm going to take y'all to a live that I did. If y'all remember, Midnight had to do 2 lives back to back last year as it pertained to a person speaking on me, Nene. So we definitely using names today. Midnight don't sugarcoat shit. Midnight don't beat behind the bush with none of this shit. We definitely use a name. So Nene, you one of the persons I need. You one of them that I need a response from, because whether you give it to me the proper way or not, your name gonna be handed down, boo. Peaches, you another one, because like I said, the way that those people were texting my personal number, yeah, you another one. Because Nene, I'm almost sure you had my personal number too before I had to block you. So you ain't out of the loop of knowing Midnight's number. You definitely had my personal number, and so did Peaches as well. She probably had that shit stored in her phone still. So the fact that both of y'all still had my personal number at that time, y'all both are definitely components of a person looking into Midnight. Secondly, with the facts of Creators Live that she tried to also present herself on, and that Nene was on, Miss Ballhead was on. I'm gonna bring y'all back there. This was a point in time where Nene and Ballhead wasn't even on good terms. This was around Christmas time. She definitely wasn't on good terms with Peaches neither. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, y'all was on Omega Live, the live that I was screen recording this shit from. You know what I'm saying? The live that I was screen recording all this shit from. This is where I was told that people are posting up certain posts that pertained to somebody looking into Midnight, trying to reach for Midnight job. I was hearing on that live that people were also placing this shit in groups or whatever type of group that a motherfucker's supposed to have. But you're gonna hear all of that, okay? Like I said, This shit was stemming from for me receiving text now numbers from the month of motherfucking May of 25 clear up until June. I changed my number shortly after that. So Nene definitely had my personal number, okay? And so did Peaches. Definitely did. Both of y'all did. Both of y'all did. So, like I said, whether y'all give responses as to why y'all still press to know where midnight work or who's looking up to know what midnight work and reaching for midnight's job, whether y'all give midnight the response that midnight want to hear or not, I'm giving y'all names to who I need to give your names to. And that's all I need to know is your full legal name and your date of birth. And I got both on both of y'all. Okay? That's all I need to know. That's it. Now, y'all both also open through YouTube. If you got enough balls to come on here and speak to Midnight about why was y'all doing what y'all was doing and why Midnight was still being the talk of y'all when Midnight wasn't even speaking on none of y'all at this time. Midnight even was prompt to do her live because Nene kept talking. Nene kept running her mouth. And how I found that out, Nene, is because you were into it with other creators, like Baldhead being one. And I was seeing a lot of what you do because y'all also like to watch a person's live while somebody else is live. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of info on knowing that, wow, she's still keeping my motherfucking name in her mouth. I see, huh? So the live that I did when I told you ought to be worried about more things as to your baby reaching milestones, that was a responsive live to you speaking on people in my household. We gonna go back to that too, because I'm trying to stay in order the way I got my shit in, but we finna touch base on all this shit. But you were definitely running your mouth still about Midnight when Midnight wasn't thinking nothing about you. So like I said, you and Peaches got y'all asses wide open on YouTube. Y'all can hop on and come in this damn room and y'all can explain what y'all mean by this little pieces of receipt we finna be listening to. Because like I said, whether you give me the response and try to play that blame game like y'all always do, I'm just gonna give both of y'all names to who I need to give it to. Because like I said, looking and digging into Midnight and trying to figure out what Midnight doing and still trying to reach for Midnight job at the end of the day, that has nothing to do with neither one of y'all. Midnight don't conversate with neither one of y'all. Midnight don't deal with neither one of y'all. And that's just point blank in the periods, okay? Y'all went through so many creators trying to get their attention of bringing Midnight up to where y'all did it to Sis Glam. Y'all sent it her way. Y'all sent it to whomever else, your little group or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be in. And you were going through another creator, Omega. Okay? Sending her all kinds of bullshit to where y'all was confusing her, but y'all ain't confusing me because at one point in time, she felt like it was Peaches sending her all of those text now numbers. Then at one point in time, she felt like that could have been Nene. But see, Peaches and Nene a lot of times are in cahoots with a lot of shit that they do. So therefore, and like to play the blame game per one another. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do that with one another. Oh no, I wasn't doing this and that person did this. That's what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? But again, y'all definitely were people that were still considering looking Midnight up, trying to figure out where I work. And that's just facts. How you doing, Miss Lane? Welcome in. Now I'm finna get to talking, so I'm not really finna be paying attention to my comment section like that. Um, Most definitely have to use names so nobody is confused. But I always use a name. That's the whole thing about it. A motherfucker can't come over here and get confused about who I be speaking about because I always reference to a name. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether y'all can comprehend on things or not, that's a struggle of your own and within yourself. You know what I'm saying? But when a person comes down here listening, this is how I know that y'all need to stop acting so damn slow because some people talk in subliminals. But see, I'm one of the creators that never did. You know what I'm saying? I never did give y'all in subliminals. So when you get over here, y'all actually do know who Midnight be referencing to on every time I want to press my live or anytime I did press my live because it was also a name attached to my topic. How you doing, Miss Dawn? Now again, Miss Renee, I see you in here. How you doing, honey? Happy Sunday. Now, again, whether or not a motherfucker give me what I need to hear without them playing the blame game, because this is all y'all ever did, you know what I'm saying? So I'm already expecting that, you know what I'm saying? I'm already really expecting that type of thing right there. It's gonna be some blame game shit played. But like I said, my personal phone number gonna narrow it down to a lot of things. A lot of people don't have my number on here. A lot of people did not have my number on here. Nene had my number on here before. You definitely did have my personal number. Peaches, you know you had my motherfucking personal number too. I gave my personal number to both my sis. Who else had my number? I think Auntie Juju had my number. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Utana had my number. I talked to her a few times with Drusilla on here, on my personal line. But I don't even consider her nor Drusilla for this time around. I know that they were attached to the first time in 24, but to be honest with y'all, I don't even consider that lady Utana nor Drusilla for this time around. I don't really think so. Nah, y'all gonna have to hear the receipts that's been already copped out here. What's going on, sis? I see my other sis in the building. Them two ain't considered around looking up men. I really think that Drusilla lady learned her lesson. Like I said, I think she was already remorseful about it the first time around as to why she moved around. You know what I'm saying? As to why she moved around from the people that she was associating herself with. She moved around. So I don't really think that she got her hands dirty this time around. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even feel like that with the other lady, Utana, at all. Because, see, Nene couldn't keep her mouth up off me, even when Midnight wasn't even speaking. When Midnight wasn't even speaking, a motherfucking person couldn't keep her mouth up off me or either motherfuckers in my household as to why I responded to just some shit that you already constantly speaking on your platform. I simply responded. And like I said, how I know that that was the fact is because when you and Ballhead was at odds, I was getting all my info from over there. All of my info from over there about how you constantly keep on speaking a narrative about Midnight, and Midnight don't think two fucks about you. Wasn't thinking about you then, and I'm not really thinking about you now. But I'm just trying to figure out why y'all still really got your hand in a place that it shouldn't be in. That's all I want to know. So, and 24 for the people who may not know, for the people who may not know what happened, y'all really unsure, is that there was a circle of people who was involved in supposedly looking Midnight up. And how I found out about that is because it was already being spoke on. Now, when I found out about that, I had hosted my own live with those individuals on here. Okay, because to my knowledge, that hadn't even happened yet. I had already hosted my own live in the month of July. So it's like, okay, I'm talking to Drusilla. She was over here on my platform. Utana came up on here on my platform. I'm looking for the other two, Asha Key and Peaches, to come through. But hell, they didn't come through my motherfucking platform, and you was wide open to whether you could come through on YouTube or Facebook or YouTube. You couldn't come through on Facebook, but you was welcome to come through here on YouTube, just like y'all still is right now today. Just like y'all still is right now today, you still available to come through. So I hosted my own live, thinking that okay, we talking about it, and like I said, you trying to have my number because I spoke to Drusilla on my personal phone. Before I did this, I talked to the lady. The lady was very remorseful to me on the phone, even. You know what I'm saying? Telling me that she's into the church and that she's ashamed of how she behaved because she had her mouth on me in the worst way. Like, you really don't know me though, lady. You know what I'm saying? You had your mouth on me in the worst way, trying to be team Peaches over there on that bandwagon over there. You know, just doing the most of what you wanted to do at that time. You know what I'm saying? Speaking on Midnight, as far as going so far to speak on Midnight's deceased mother. I'm just talking about doing the absolute most. You feel what I'm saying? Because you chose a side and chose to be a bandwagon. So when shit was getting really hot, because Midnight wasn't finna actually let a motherfucker just be disrespectful in that manner or in that order. when shit started getting real and it started getting hot, Midnight had already had a clown session that I did for like, I want to say maybe a week. I did a week of a clown session on all of them over there using their pics, coming over through YouTube because I was blocked on Facebook. For those who remember, I was blocked on Facebook and don't know who quite got me blocked. You know what I'm saying? It probably could have been between either of them then. You know what I'm saying? But Midnight had to do her live streaming on my YouTube. So that's where I was. And they watched every time. You know what I'm saying? They were tuned in every time because it was a roast session like 5 days a week. And I said, soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to be done talking about them. You know what I'm saying? Once I'm done running my marathons, the way that I need to run them, I'm gonna be done talking about them. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, they did the most. You know what I'm saying? Especially with, I don't care what you say about me, but you're not gonna bring in nobody connected to me because y'all can't handle me or y'all can't take me. You're not gonna do that. And then what y'all thought y'all was really doing with the upper hand is speaking on my deceased mother, something that I was just not going to respect from neither one of you motherfucking people. And so I was going in the hard and long way on y'all. I didn't care what I said or did. You know what I'm saying? Didn't care at the time. I really did not. Because see, that was something Midnight wasn't doing when it came to them. See, because they couldn't take me, they felt like that was the way that they would try to defeat me when you only push me to go harder and harder on y'all. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I did that marathon the way I ran it on y'all, because I knew that once I was done with it, I would be done talking about y'all all together. Okay? I knew that already. So when I did that, I was cool. You know what I'm saying? I was cool on all the motherfuckers. I said what I said, but that lady didn't like the fact that I had her pick up here. You know what I'm saying? She didn't like the way that I had her pick up here, and I told her ass just like this right here. I told her, till you strain your motherfucking hand, you need to stop talking and talking shit and strain your mouth to say certain things. Until you straighten up your motherfucking hand, I think you need to shut that motherfucking mouth up. It's what I told her. I said, if you can't strain your hand, you need to hush your mouth. Okay? She didn't like the photo I chose for her, and she didn't like what I was doing when I was clowning her. But you know what I'm saying? You missing the fact that you went over there on some bandwagon shit, and you went over there speaking real ill on Midnight, which Midnight didn't give a damn about that. But then when you start going to speak on my deceased mother, I wasn't having that with none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't having that with none of y'all because, like I said, I don't know how y'all feel about y'all parents or whatever y'all, whoever raised you. I don't know how you feel about them, but I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect my motherfucking mother's name, not even in death, honey. You're not gonna be able to do it. My mom is resting easy, and she gonna continue to rest easy. Do you feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I went Comedy Central on y'all, and so she didn't like that, and I guess that's what prompt. Let's say this right here. I guess that's what prompts her to feel like she wanted to actually look me up and find where I worked because she didn't like the way that I came. So I was getting little notations like that, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah. So then when shit started dwindling down and people are cracking down and trying to crack now, because she did, she definitely did in so many ways. I guess she cracked in the right way because she got her ass away from there. But I got a call from Utana with this lady on the phone. You know what I'm saying? With her on the phone, not knowing she was on the phone. So I answer, and it's Utana, and she's telling me, you know, hey, Midnight, I got somebody that want to talk to you. So I was open enough for the lady to speak to me. I could have just cut that shit right off right there, but I am fair. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I am a fair person. I could have just hung up on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I don't gotta hear nothing you saying. You chose to do all the rah-rah, and you chose to say what the fuck it is you said, and it is what it is. I'm gonna continue to do what I want to do. But I actually heard the lady out. You know what I'm saying? Let her talk to me on my phone. because you trying to call me on my personal phone. And so I talked to that lady on the phone, and I could really hear the sincerity in her voice because I am one of discernment myself too. I know when people are playing mind games with me, and I know if a person is really not sincere, if they doing fast talking. So I knew that that lady was really real about what she was telling me on the phone. You understand me? That lady told me so much so that, you know what I'm saying, she wasn't really saying that she didn't have really anything to do with that because she was very remorseful about it, but she wasn't the only motherfucker one. You know what I'm saying? She told me, like I said, she said she's a person of the church. She have a pastor. You know what I'm saying? She's very ashamed of her behavior, of how she's behaved on here. She's ashamed of how she was letting people influence her as a grown woman, as old as she was, letting other women influence her, things of those natures, is so much so what she said to me on the phone. And she was very sincere. You know what I'm saying? Because usually I can tell bullshit. This is why I don't accept from everybody when you think you fast talking me. But that lady was very sincere about it. She was even so much so willing to actually clear her name and put it out there that she even made a presentation on my panel when I did do the live. You know what I'm saying? When I did the live, her and Tana came over here. So, you know, they gonna get some kudos for that. So yeah, on that panel, she will basically, if y'all remember that panel, if you remember that panel and remember how even Drusilla carried herself, she seemed very nervous. For one, I don't know if she was nervous because, you know, she felt like, I don't know, she felt like she was a snitch or whatever she was, you know what I'm saying? But she was basically laying that shit out on the line, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, yep, it was being talked about that they were looking you up, and she was just naming individuals. And then, like I said, when the individuals were supposed to be supposedly telling me something, Midnight didn't get shit told to her, and neither one of those ladies came through my motherfucker timeline or my panel at all. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them. So then it was seeming like motherfuckers was recanting. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like a motherfucker was almost recanting what it is that was already said. You know what I'm saying? You were recanting on some shit. So then that's when Midnight had to take it in her own hands. And definitely those two women were looked at, those two that came, because it seemed like then everybody was pointing fingers, you know what I'm saying? And recanting what the fuck it is that a motherfucker wanted to say. And so much so words. But the reason why I say I believe that lady is done with them because she definitely told me she was leaving a platform and she left. That lady left. She left that shit right behind. She left them people over there and she left that platform over there. So when she told me that she was very apologetic to me and based off her behaviors and things she done, she was very apologetic. Damn near almost sounding like, you know how a motherfucker wanna damn near go in tears. You know, something like that. You understand me? And so, me being fair, I was able to receive what she was saying, and I did accept hers because, like I said, and so much so, she was still taking accountability for what she had did. She didn't beat around the bush as it pertained to how she behaved, what she said about my deceased mother. She even told me she got a deceased mother. You know what I'm saying? She even said she has a deceased mother of her own. So she was very apologetic of her behavior. And she left the motherfuckers alone. On top of that, she did leave that platform and didn't look back to dealing with them people because she felt like they were probably manipulating her and using her. And I felt like they were putting her up to it too. You know what I'm saying? Putting her up to do the dirt. However, like I said, motherfuckers was getting in a recanting mode. And then I had to do things for what it was worth in my own hands. And so since I already knew the individuals this huddle was being spoke upon, I already knew this, okay? So it wasn't really hard for me to look into what I needed to look into because I already kind of knew of the individuals that was already involved. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, knowing the play is just it's dirty. Okay. It's just as janky and dirty when you know something. But I don't feel like I said, I don't feel like that lady did anything. Peaches did as far as sending them the email and things like that. I don't know. I don't feel like she did that, but I feel like she knew when that shit went out. I feel like they all had potential motherfucking tasks when it came to that, and I don't know when that was done. That's what I don't know. But as long as I knew the individuals, that's all the fuck I needed to know. I just needed to know individuals' names. That's it. And so when I did my live, do y'all remember this one? I thought I had this one in my back records too. You know what I'm saying? But I had to really look deep, and it wasn't there. I could have accidentally deleted it. But do y'all remember when I worked third shift now at the hospital? I went in to work that night talking about how I was gonna be back in the morning when I got off, in reference to some new shit that I found out. Because, like I said, I was working with an engineer that was working with me, trying to find and put pieces together, and we ended up doing that. So, do y'all remember that live when I was going in for work? Because I work nights at this time. I was working nights at the hospital. I went into work and I did my live, and I told y'all that once I got off work, that I was going to be coming right back live because I had learned new things as it pertained to a person looking me up in that manner. So I did. Now, do y'all remember that day, that morning? I was still at my job, going live in the garage and calling all of those women. I unblocked them all for them to come to my live that night. Because Peaches was blocked at the time. Ash wasn't, but she was all in my face smiling. See, she was a snake anyway from the gate because she was in my face. This lady had already left Peaches' platform because she got drilled out over there. But you was on my platform, you know what I'm saying? In my face whole time. Your ass connected to some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You connected to some bull. You was on my platform while you was on your sis platform, your twin. That's what you were calling her. That Peaches was your twin to you then. So she was still on my platform. You know what I'm saying? She was coming on my platform because I unblocked the motherfuckers for them to come over there. That morning when I got off, I did my live in the motherfucking garage of my employer. You know what I'm saying? I was just that eager to press the motherfucking live button that I did it right there, calling all of their asses out. Everybody got unblocked. Everybody. So while I'm calling them out, letting them know that I know the play and I know that they all involved into reaching, trying to reach to look midnight up. Okay. Ash come in my motherfucking comments under her name and she's talking to me. Meanwhile, Peaches comes in under a motherfucking fake name. Okay. She comes in under a fake name. And she's saying things like, we didn't do that, we didn't do that, we didn't do that. So she's talking in the narrative of a plural form. So you ain't just talking about yourself, you're talking about everybody else, because I'm talking about all of them at this point and how I know that they full of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling them that they full of shit. So she's coming in my audience in my comment section saying we didn't do this and we didn't do that. So she's speaking for her and we, all of the people that's connected to her. That would be Ash at the time and anybody else that I didn't mention. She didn't know Drusilla had left her yet, but she definitely did. Even Tana, I would say, left. You know what I'm saying? Even Tana left that alone over there. But I'm still addressing all of them because it's still dirty because we had already had a discussion about this. We had already had a discussion about this, and y'all actually went and did some dirt. So she's coming in with this fake name, and then she comes in under a name of Joanne Williams and still speaking in that narrative. And I knew that was her. You know what I'm saying? The only one that was actually original in my comment section with say name was Ash. That's it. So I'm actually cussing their ass out, not trying to hear what they saying at that point in time. I'm not even really trying to hear it. I know you full of shit and you getting cussed out at the moment. You know what I'm saying? You getting cussed out on that live, getting called out, cussed out. So Midnight already got the narrative that a motherfucker like them looked me up, right? So now shit is getting hot over there on her platform with her twin. You know what I'm saying? Because her twin was still over there at that time. Ash was still over there. But that shit shortly changed a few days later. That shit changed swiftly. So I guess when the lady got to thinking about shit and how shit playing out, because I also presented y'all with a lot of emails that Ash and Peaches, they were using one of the emails in common. You know what I'm saying? One of them was connected to the both of them. And I'm saying when I did a report on them, I'm not screening them by what they call themselves on here. I'm actually looking at their government name. You know what I'm saying? And they got screened by different reports. The motherfuckers had already looked me up. I got justification of looking you up. Okay? What y'all did was very, very, very distasteful and nasty. Y'all thought y'all was trying to get somebody fired. That's how y'all was reaching. It was very distasteful and very nasty. Okay? So since y'all did that, I got a right to look you up because, like I said, I was gonna take this in a civil matter. Had I lost my job, I would have. You know what I'm saying? Had I lost my job, I would have. All of them would have been in court. Because first of all, y'all falsified the fucking email. It was through an anonymous email that they created. Anonymous email they created. Milwaukee Pro 7 was the email that they created, making themselves look like they was an establishment of Milwaukee. They sent that to my current employer then. And told them that I was violating HIPAA violations. And then they attached a video that I did when I was actually going to visit a consumer. They attached that video to the email. Okay. So men I have already know or had all the knowledge of this, all of that. So then when I knew what I was gonna do, it shit got real on her platform to where she got to sit back and think about it. Now she's questioning her twin as if she don't know nothing about it. She's trying to portray she has no idea about it. That's just what she's portraying to the world. However, I feel like you knew the play the whole time. So she's calling herself drilling Ash on her live. Um, Ash claims she told me that she did look me up. You never told me that, girl. You was on my live trying to plead the fifth and deny everything. When did you tell me that you looked me up? You didn't even come on my motherfucking YouTube to come over there on the panel to even say some real truths like that one lady did. You didn't do that. You telling that to your twin over there, but you ain't never had a conversation with Midnight, not even in my comment section when you was on that live that day or thereafter. Thereafter, y'all was history. I blocked y'all. It was nothing else for me to say to y'all after that. I knew y'all were the ones that was reaching. I knew y'all was the ones that did it. For you and your twin to have talked every day the way that y'all fucking talked every day, that's very hard for me to believe that she did not know a play or a motherfucking turn or nothing of what was going on. That is just insane to me. The way as y'all used to speak all the time. So much so y'all called each other twin. You know what I'm saying? Y'all called each other twin then. So I already knew that she knew to play while she was drilling you. I think she was doing that for the book because it definitely wasn't something that Midnight bought. You know what I'm saying? You were doing that shit for the books. So then Ash didn't like that, I'm sure. She probably didn't like the way she was talking to her or the platform or whatever, because everybody was like, well, did you look her up? And she said, yeah, she looked me up, but she claimed that the lady had already had the information. Yeah, that's because y'all didn't look me up together or somebody gave it to her. Like I said, Peaches already had the shit over there. She had my address and she had my phone. It wasn't gonna be too much hard for her to find the motherfucker if she already got the credentials of having that, right? So my shit could have easily been passed down between y'all little circle over there. But see, like I said, that shit was falling in shambles because even Ash ended up leaving from over there a couple days later after that live took place because she didn't, I guess, like the way that she was questioning her. She didn't like the way that she was questioning her over there. And she almost probably didn't like the fact that she didn't seem trustworthy over there. Okay. because again, what they were doing was doing some shit for the books. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really definitely a remorseful. It wasn't no remorse with Ash either. She just looked as stupid as a motherfucker on the live. You see guilt all on her motherfucking face. You feel me? You seen all of that on her face. So she wasn't being honest. She claimed she told Midnight this, and I told her I was looking her up. No, the fuck you didn't. You didn't mention none of this shit to me. Okay, what you said on that lady live, you didn't never say to me. When you was in my comment section at one time when I was going live in the garage of my employer, you and her, that was definitely your twin under the fake page. Y'all both was in denial about your part. Okay? Both of y'all. But however, like I said, she called herself drilling you now because I guess she letting the shit sink in. To the fact that she know I know, and that, like I said, I was gonna pursue y'all. You know what I'm saying? Had I lost my job, I would have really pursued y'all for real. Because you play too much. Just like I'm finna pursue them two that I'm finna talk to about now. Most definitely. Because you know what you still reaching for. See, I'm not gonna pursue that one lady Drusilla because she was very remorseful. I mean, I respect accountability. That's what I respect. That lady gave me that. She gave me that then, so I couldn't do nothing but respect her for giving me that. And then she came forth on my platform and spoke about that. She didn't deny that. She moved around from y'all too. So she even left y'all crooked asses alone. She left y'all. And eventually your twin left you. But like I said, she couldn't take the heat over there coming from both sides, mine nor yours. You know what I'm saying? Mine's nor yours, or whatever you was trying to give her. She couldn't take that heat over here of what it was that I was actually reporting. And I guess what you was doing, she couldn't take that either. So she decided to step. At that point in time, she decided to step. The same people that she had her mouth on reckless, she went over there, tried to bandwagon with them. And, you know, those people welcome her back with open arms. But see, that's the kind of game that I don't play. You know what I'm saying? I just don't do that right there. Because that was also, you got to think about this. A snake is a snake. That was a lady who had her mouth on all of them heavy in the worst way. And as soon as shit broke bad in her designated place of where her twin is, she went right back over there to her. You could have said that they were enemies because the way she had her mouth on them, you know what I'm saying? It was reckless. You know what I'm saying? Every day, reckless. She ran to the enemy. You feel what I'm saying? And they actually welcomed her ass back, but said, "Not me. I don't fuck with Ash. She a snake." You feel what I'm saying? I don't fuck with Ash. I don't talk to Tana, however, and I don't talk to Drusilla. I definitely don't talk to Peaches, and I definitely don't deal with Nene. So that's exactly how they ended up reaching for Midnight because they couldn't take Midnight all together on her own. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, they thought that they was going to try to do me in the worst way then, since they couldn't penetrate me like this on the internet. And since they couldn't even penetrate me with y'all thinking y'all putting your mouth on my mother, they couldn't penetrate me neither way. So I guess they felt like, let's try to reach in a different way for her. We're going to actually falsify some things and send that over to her employer. We're going to look her up. And that didn't even work for him. You feel what I'm saying? That didn't even work out for him either because I was never fired. Okay? Never was I ever fired behind y'all doing that. That's what y'all was hoping for. I know y'all was because y'all knew that y'all couldn't penetrate me or pierce me on the internet alone. And y'all knew that you couldn't even penetrate or pierce me with y'all putting y'all mouth on my deceased mother in the worst way because I was eating y'all up on this internet. I was eating y'all up. And y'all just couldn't stand it. You know what I'm saying? So you chose to reach in that narrative for Midnight. But that didn't even work. So I guess that even probably make a salty brawl even saltier when you think that if you tried everything that you can try ever to try to actually get somebody in a place or a position to where you think you won, and it still don't work for you, that will actually burn a hole through a salty or pressed broad's heart. You know what I'm saying? To know that you tried to do everything that you could do and you still did not succeed. To know that you tried to do everything that you tried to do with a young woman like me, that's another thing. You couldn't stand next to me. None of them. Okay. Um, and so since you couldn't get to me in that way, to know that you failed that way, even with even trying when you reached my job, that it didn't get me fired. You know what I'm saying? I know that they had to make y'all all look some kind of way to know that that didn't even happen. I know y'all wanted that to be the end result. I know y'all wanted that to be the end goal, but it didn't work like that because God don't like ugly. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't even go like that in y'all favor. But that's kind of like what you were hoping. You know what I'm saying? So to see that all y'all stops was put to a stop, that made y'all probably even madder. You know what I'm saying? That y'all couldn't win. Y'all can't get to me. I'm shielded. You understand me? I'm shielded. So Midnight learned that, knew who was involved in that. So guess what Midnight did? Cut everybody else. Cut everybody off. Everybody that had any kind of affiliation to that was cut off. And like I said, I was able to stop talking about those women at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? Because I also got to look at it like this. Shit, you know, they didn't technically win. I did. You know what I'm saying? They didn't win. I won. They didn't technically win. I did. You understand me? Because see, God had me shielded, honey. No matter all of the tricks or little schemes y'all had for Midnight or what y'all wanted to do for Midnight, it didn't work. Okay? It didn't work. It did not work. So now we here. And now we here to a point where I'm hearing that somebody actually really wants to know what Midnight was doing so badly. They wanted to know what Midnight was doing, where Midnight is working, because you already knew where I live. Y'all leaked my address out here. Let's not forget that. Y'all leaked my address out here now. I'm not sure who was responsible for the fake page coming through my live that night, that they wanted me to know that they knew where I worked, because this is what they put in there. They put in my home address, my personal phone number, the one that they were sending all the texts now, motherfucking texts to, um, my workplace and the address to my workplace, along with a phone number. That's what they put in my comment section under a fake page. So they wanted me to know that they know this much. They know where I stay. They know where I work. They had my work title in there, and they had all the numbers to my personal phone and to my job on there. That's what they wanted me to see. They dropped that shit in my comment section. Okay? Around August somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Around August of 24. That happened first. That happened like maybe 7 days before I got alerted by my employer that they were reached August 26th with an email, a falsified ass email. Okay. So they wanted me to know that they had that much information and they used that information to actually try reaching my job. I know that for a fact. Okay. So now again, we here. Now, back in 25, I want to say of July, I believe I spoke and did a live on Nene. Okay. And I did a live on Nene like maybe 2 days back to back from each other. I want to say that had to be July 25th of 25. And that live was done on her because again, she couldn't keep her motherfucking mouth up off me. She couldn't keep her mouth up off me at all. You understand me? So now we're past 24 because Midnight already know about what's going on there, what happened there, and who that involved with. Okay. So now we in 25. And I don't speak with Nene. Nene is blocked and she's going to be blocked for my own reasoning because I just don't trust her. You know what I'm saying? She's just somebody that I don't trust. I've tried with that girl and it's just not going to go nowhere. So why am I going to continue to let somebody play in my face that I solely don't trust? You know what I'm saying? It's just too many things that that girl has done, as far as I'm concerned, that makes her untrustworthy. And she knows that too, because hell, I've talked to her personally in my inbox, and she called my phone a few times, but then I cut that off altogether to where if Nene were calling me on my personal phone, she didn't get an answer. Okay. She didn't get answer. I think I eventually had to block Nene, you know what I'm saying? From even calling me, because sometimes the girl will call my personal phone. I'm sure to be messy, you know what I'm saying, to be messy or whatnot. To where she was even blowing me up through the inbox, you know what I'm saying, on Messenger. And half of the times I didn't even answer those either. You know what I'm saying? I didn't answer that. But the last time that I did speak with her in the inbox through Messenger, because I had already blocked her number, but she definitely had mine, so she's not exempt from having my number. Um, I was telling her about some shit she was doing on other content creators' pages, as far as like how she was actually being very snakish about things, like making content creators believe that I actually had a fake page when they were the ones really playing in my name. Just like they were playing in my mother's name, they were playing even in my name, and they were even playing in my sibling's name. So, and instead of a motherfucker actually telling a person that that's not my page, like some people did, and that's not actually me behind that page, doing a lot of shit talking to those creators, when it could have been very much so her or whoever else behind the motherfucking page. But instead of telling them that it's not my page, she will lead them to believe that it is. You know what I'm saying? And when I got whiff and word of that, for myself, of seeing it for myself, yeah, I had a problem with that. So I reached out to Nene in the inbox about that, letting her know about that. That's when I really had the last straw. That was the last straw for me with Nene. That's when I decided, like, listen, I'm going chill off on you. I'm gonna have to chill off on you. I think I'm gonna fall back, because this seemed like a repeated ass circle right here. This is a repeated ass circle. How do you want to be on somebody's platform so bad to where you constantly still always find yourself doing the same shit? You know what I'm saying? As far as like backstabbing shit. Let's go back some. She already done backstabbed me with the Lady Peaches. Like, that's how Midnight was ever so drawn into any kind of BS. It's because, listen, the whole internet would think that they were at odds with one another, but secretly they were behind the scenes talking to one another, and they would be talking about other people, whomever the fuck they feel like they want to talk about. Just so happened, Midnight had to be the topic of their discussion several times. And as soon as they feel like they're upset with one another, this is when you hear them spilling their beans. They want somebody to believe, oh, Peaches wants you to believe she trustworthy enough. Then Nene putting shit out here on her platform, she wants you to believe that she's trustworthy. But y'all both talking. So that happened several times with how I got intertwined with that with them. And this is why I don't fuck with the Peaches lady right now today. For that reason, and not only that, she very foul as a woman, though. You know what I'm saying? Very foul as a woman. Her characteristics is just very foul as a lady. Like I said, me and her will never be able to actually be somebody to have a conversation. We would clash all the time, because she can't take the fact that I'm not one that rolls with what come out of her mouth. Okay? I'm not one that will roll with what comes out of that lady's mouth. She want to have people like that under her, but I was not one like that that's going to roll with what comes out of her mouth, and I didn't really care for what came out of Nene's mouth either, to be honest. I didn't care for what came out of neither one of their mouth. Midnight was gonna make her own discernment and determination about whatever the fuck it was. It wasn't gonna be prompted by Nene, and it wasn't gonna be motherfucking prompted by Peaches either. So, but they always wanted you to believe either one way or the other. And if you didn't believe they way or that way, then they kind of got a problem with you. Okay? If you got your own way of thinking. So that's how a lot of that started with how I don't even begin to trust Nene. And then to see her go in so many different lives, like Dime, she was using Kia. Some of them had good enough sense to know that, listen, I'm going to listen to a story for what it is on my own, and I'm not going to let nobody come over here and present me with some BS. I got to make my own determination. So that's what some of them did. But the fact of the matter is like I said, one of them or someone played in a fake page behind a fake page of my name using my profile, going in other content creators' rooms, making them feel that it was midnight. You know what I'm saying? Playing in their face, telling those content creators how they truly feel behind my name. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were doing. And she knew that it wasn't my page. So it's just like, why you won't tell a motherfucking person that's not my page? Oh, she said her reasoning for that was because they went on she went on speaking terms with me. You know what I'm saying? She went on speaking terms with me, so it's all good to her for a motherfucker believe that it was me or not. She feel like she didn't want to fend for me because we weren't even on speaking terms. Okay, cool, but I don't need you around me at that point in time. I don't even want you around me at this point. Okay, so that's why I really don't trust her. Peaches just can't be somebody that I conversate with at all. You know what I'm saying? That lady a joke to me. Like I said, this is the definition of insane. You know what I'm saying? You cannot no longer call nothing a mistake or accident if you done it 10 times over. If you find yourself apologizing to different people about the same shit all the time, you are now classified as somebody to be insane. Because how is it that you have the same apology to different people because of this is what you do, but you keep choosing to do it over and over, and you expect somebody to really think that that apology is sincere? It can never, not over here with me. Now, some people have been forgiven about that lady, you know what I'm saying, and may have given her another chance. She's another one that couldn't get another chance out of midnight. Okay. She's another one that couldn't get another chance up out of me because you will really be classified as insane based off what it is that you do. Okay. The same scenario, different woman though. The same apology when you play with people's deceased loved one, different people though. How are you always finding yourself apologizing for the same thing when you turn around and do the same thing over and over and over and over? So when she gave Midnight that apology, I definitely did not accept it. But as she said, I'm gonna do what she want other people to hear it. Hell, she wanted me to hear it. She wanted my motherfucking semblance to hear it because she felt like it wasn't just disrespect to me. You know what I'm saying? It was disrespectful to my siblings. So you know what I'm saying? She wanted me to extend that to them, and I did. And they have forgive. They don't know her like I do. You know what I'm saying? My siblings don't fuck with this side of Facebook like that. You know what I'm saying? So they were willing to forgive the lady, but however, I know that's some crop of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We've been there, done that. So as I said then, there in the past, it was not sincere enough for me to accept that apology from her, and it was not accepted on my end. Now, however, it was accepted on my siblings' end, it was not accepted this way. Because again, we've been there, done that too many times for her to really tell me now that she's very sincerely apologetic for actually speaking in the narrative she spoke on when she kept continuing to speak in the narrative that she spoke on. Nah, not over here. Mind games don't work on me. Okay? Mind games don't work on me at all. So Midnight did not accept that crap because I knew it was what it was, crap. However, they did. You understand me? If y'all were here when I did that live. So now we're finna get into the good things of it all, the receipts. Okay. So we are here now at a place where I'm thinking that everybody needs to be going on their way, or they doing their own thing, right? Everybody doing their own motherfucking thing. Nobody doing too much of nothing, worried about midnight at least. You know what I'm saying? Because midnight definitely wasn't worried about none of them. When I actually left all of them in a review, I promise y'all that's where they were left. You know what I'm saying? I had no reason to speak on neither one of them. So I wasn't speaking on neither one of them at all. So when I got the little news of my new beginnings, like I told y'all, I only told two people that I call internet sisters on here, and I'm going to show y'all the receipts of me tell. One of my sisters I called and had a conversation with, and one of them I text. Okay, so I think I talked to Sis Glam first, and I called her. So let's get ready to drop the receipts. When I got that little bit of a call, I mean that in news, I wanted to tell them. So look at the date on there. That's June 26th of 25. You see that conversation with Sis Glenn was about 45 minutes and some seconds, right? So she got a call on June 26th, okay? Where I spoke with her about my new beginnings, right? So then I hit up my big sis same day. Look at that. Look at the date at the top because I connected my email to hers. The email that I received about the offer. You know what I'm saying? I connected that to hers right there. Said, "Hey sis, look what your sis doing, moving on up in the world. You know, something like that right there. That's my big sis. This is their personal lines. I'm hitting them on, so there y'all can see it fully. You know what I'm saying? However, they both got hit up on the same day. So these is only two people that I actually referenced to about my new beginnings, right, from the internet. Because we're not talking about my family. They already know this. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my internet sisters. And so then this is sister response right here. Okay. So I talked to them both on June 26th of 25 and told them that, right? Now, again, we already had some press people in the back because let's not forget those text now numbers that Midnight had been receiving since the month of May into June. You know what I'm saying? From people who actually had my personal number. So let me show y'all this receipt right here. Let's go down. Where is it right here? Look at this. That's my personal phone, and you finna see so many different text now numbers. Look at them long paragraphs. That's them in black sending me shit, right? But that's them texting my personal phone. Okay? They want to be they want me to believe so bad that they almost got me fired or that they did get me fired. This is the kind of narrative that they still talking, sending me all this bullshit from all these different numbers. So that's one text now number. Here's another. Here's another one. That's them in black speaking. Cause you're gonna know when I'm speaking. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in some blue or something like that. But look at them long ass paragraphs that they are actually texting my personal phone. So that's somebody who actually had my number. And like I said, when you boil down to it, only a few people had my number. Not too many people of the internet had my damn number. That's me right there in blue responding. This is my personal phone. All of these are text now numbers starting from the month of May into June until I changed my number. Okay. When I changed my number, it's when that shit stopped. Okay. Here's another. Y'all see they took pictures of my husband. Look at that. You see this? This is what they sending to me on my personal phone. Shit like this. You know what I'm saying? All this bullshit that didn't get read. But a crock of bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? This is my personal phone that I'm showing y'all to log in. I went in and you see how that shit blocked, but you can still see your block list. You know what I'm saying? So, and then look at those receipts right there that they're sending me. You seen that shit on somebody else's page. Look at that. Look at that. That is almost dead giveaway as to who was texting my phone. Here's another one. Here is another different text now number. Text in my phone. You understand me? My personal line. You know what I'm saying? My personal line. And that's me responding right there. Cause motherfucker get sick and tired of if a motherfucker you get sick and tired, you get sick and tired. So that's me responding. Okay? Yeah, that's me right there responding to that. Okay, here go another one. So yeah, when I said midnight was getting them too, midnight was getting them. Here go another one. You understand me? And look at how the writing on this one though. Look how the writing on this one on one of them right there. We already won 100 times over. That shit sound too familiar for me. You know what I'm saying? Familiar to me. It looks familiar to me for a motherfucker say we won. So let me run it down. Who had my number again? Both of my sisters had my number, which is Sis Glam and Sis Patricia. Look, that's another one right there, y'all. That's another one. Y'all see all them? Let this shit play first. Look at all them long ass paragraphs that these people were taking time out to text me on my personal phone. This is not no inbox. This is them texting my personal line before my number was changed. This is them texting me on my personal line before my number was changed. So let me run it down to you again. What's going on, sis? I see you come in here. Let me run it down to y'all. That's my sis right there. Let me run it down to y'all again. So my two sis, Glam and Patricia, had my number. Miss Juju had my number. Damn Peaches had it because, like I said, yep, she had it. Nene had it. Yes, she did. Nene had my number. Before Nene was reaching me in the inbox, she was calling my number straight through. I ended up blocking her because I felt like she was calling me a little bit too much. That's first off. And then I felt like it was always some bullshit attached to the call because I'm not the one that you call with bullshit. I'm not the one that's gonna be on that motherfucking shit with you. Secondly, when she couldn't get through that way, she started inboxing me heavy. Okay. She started actually inboxing me, calling me through my inbox or messaging me through my inbox heavy. You understand me? Because I ended up blocking her. So when I decided that I didn't want to speak with Nene anymore, she already knew that because I did give her a last conversation that we had was through the inbox. Okay. I gave Nene a conversation through my inbox. I didn't want to call her. She asked me to call her, but I told her I'm not unblocking you to call you because she was already blocked. I'm not gonna unblock you just to call you. You know what I'm saying? We could talk here. You understand? So I talked to her through the inbox and told her that I was falling back. So yeah, we already know that she felt some kind of way about that because she kept putting her mouth on midnight. You understand me? She had her mouth on me, you know what I'm saying? Because I decided to actually fall back off her. So let me bring some remembrance to y'all too. These were the pictures that were in those texts that Sis was getting. And these are the photos that were in Texas that they probably were sending Omega. Y'all see that circle right there with the arrow? That's me sitting in the courtroom of Madison where we had our ceremony. Okay? They were using these pictures right here. But see, how did they know that Midnight worked for the DOC is what I'm trying to figure out. Because Midnight never told you or no one else outside of those other two. Okay? That was not known to nobody else besides two people. So if anybody were looking and trying to figure that out, you were doing a little bit much digging that you're supposed to have been doing. And as you can see here, you see the DLC posted that shit up the very next day. My graduation was October 22nd of 25. Okay? They got this strictly from the DOC page. It's what I told Sis. Okay? So I'm going to show y'all this. I'm finna show you this of me hitting sis up, okay, and asking her for those receipts. But like I said, those are things that they got strictly off the DOC page, okay, because it's on DOC page. I am DOC staff. But how did you know I worked for the DOC? Because first off, men, I never told you. Second off, I never told you once again. So that means you were doing a bit much digging that you supposed to been doing. And this is why I'm gonna handle y'all accordingly. So now let's go back here. Let's go back here first. Let me actually show y'all some clips first before I get into. No, we got to show this first. So let's go back here. Look at the dates on that. That's March of this year, y'all. I said, hey, good morning, sis. I need you to send me that snapshot of that person who texts you mentioning something about my job. I'm going to go live about why I need it shortly. And you already see who I'm inboxing on that, right? So she responded to me a few days later, and this is what she sent me. So y'all see the same shit. Y'all see the same pictures, right? Because a motherfucker knew that I was a DOC staff because they did digging once again. And they found this on the DOC page. Okay. Some more pictures right here. They found this on the DOC page. All of this is currently on the DOC page. Okay. So they really don't know shit, really, besides the fact that they know that I work for the Department of Corrections. That's really what they found out. You know what I'm saying? Don't really know too much of shit. But knowing that I work for the Department of Corrections or whatever. And then look what they're sending her. Mentioning my name. Look at these messages that they're sending to Sis Glam, but yet mentioning me. Look at this crap. It's foolery. Look at this. It's foolery. It's foolery. They got so much. They so pressed about midnight, and midnight hadn't even been on the internet at this point, y'all. At this point, after I did that last live about Nene, I had actually fell back off the internet for quite some time. The only thing that I was really, at least from going live, I used to post up. Here go my response to sis right here. I told her that's actually up the DOC page. That was my ceremony when I was being sworn in after completing my agent training. That's a DOC page. That's where they got that from. Okay. That I follow. Yeah. They making it seem like they knew my location of where I work. All that is public. They went to a public page and got those pictures. So they feel like they knew where I worked. When you're going to see any DOC staff on that page because it's DOC staff. Anything that the DOC do, it will be on the DOC page. But I was in Madison when y'all actually seen those pics. That's took in Madison. Let's go proceed. Look at that. That's just responding to me, basically. And then this is me responding to her, asking her to reach out to I want to say Omega. Y'all see that? That's actually me talking to her about kind of making connection with Omega because I had already heard what I needed to hear on one of them lives, but I also have screen records of another live that I caught on Omega. I'm gonna get ready to show y'all the clips. I had already seen that they were pressing that lady with inboxes, whether she was getting it straight through her phone or whether they were coming through as inboxes. But they probably were coming 9 times out of 10. If they didn't have Omega's number, they were coming through in the inbox. But if a person had Omega's number, they probably were going straight through her personal phone. You understand me? Like that. Like how they were sending it to my personal phone. The ones that were sending me, because mine didn't come through no inbox. Those people who were sending me shit, they were sending me shit through my personal phone. Now look at this. This is my Google right here. This is the day I screen recorded that shit. Look at the date. I circled that shit. That was December 28th of 25. Y'all see those 4 clips right there of Omega Live? We finna play them. But I want y'all to look at the timestamp on that, because y'all not gonna hear the whole live. You don't understand? Y'all finna hear snippets of all 4 of those shots though. Important pieces that I felt like was most important, because see, on this live right here, this was Omega Live. She hosted this live right here. She had Ballhead up there. Tried to bring Peaches up there. Nene was up on there. And at this time, Nene and Ballhead went on good terms. Okay. Of course, her and Peaches went on good terms neither. And like I said, Miss Omega was in limbo with a lot of shit, because she did not know at one point who to believe. Because at one point in time, she did believe all of that shit was coming from Peaches' side. Then it seemed like she eventually started believing that no, Peaches is not doing it. It's Nene doing it. But it's just basically those two parties trying to make a motherfucking person choose who's doing it, when really they both doing it. They both fucking doing it, if you ask me. So y'all see, that's my Google. You know, Google always record a timestamp. That shit don't lie. You know what I'm saying? That don't be lying. Those are my screen records right there. You see 4 of them, and that's because you see 4 from Omega Live. So now I'm finna jump down to the videos, and we finna let these things play out, because it was definitely in 25 around this time. This is the same day, so this was December after Christmas of 25. You finna hear how both of their names are the ones involved in digging me up. Let this play.
Go sit down, obese ass churn, bitch. Somebody telling Nene to take down a post, a screenshot before Peaches, and before Midnight sees this screenshot that Peaches trying to take Joanne's new job. What the hell is that about? Hell.
So y'all heard that, right? We finna play that again. We finna play that again.
Go sit down, obese ass churn, bitch. Somebody telling Nene to take down a post, a screenshot before Peaches, and before Midnight sees this screenshot that Peaches trying to take Joanne's new job. What the hell is that about? Hell.
And what screenshot, and where did she get it from? If it's something that Peaches created, how did Nene get it? How did Nene get it? Because you can also hear them mention a group. Like, how did she get it? This is why I said that they be in cahoots with one another. So, in my opinion, they both were doing digging that they shouldn't have been doing. So let the next clip play right here.
It's Nene got a screenshot and posted where your Peaches knows Midnight's new job. Who is that? I'm going live. Dominique said she going live. Well, go.
And if Nene got that screenshot, where did she get it from? And if she's seen it on Peach's page, then that's what you probably need to be discussing, because I do want a response from the both of y'all before I actually move. I'm going to give y'all a benefit of doubt, you know what I'm saying, to respond. But whether y'all respond in the narrative that I'm caring to hear, I'm going to do what I want to do. Let that play again.
It's Nene got a screenshot and posted where your Peaches knows Midnight's new job. Who is that? I'm going live. Dominique said she going live. Well, go.
So see, that person came in, she didn't even know who that was telling her that. Could have been a fake page, because I definitely couldn't see him. I'm free to go into Omega's room. That's how I was getting these screen records right here. So the person that was even telling her that had to be a fake page Or was it Nene? Because she also said that she was going live right after that. Let this clip play.
Who these people? Ooh, Peach just did it again. Peach just did something today about Midnight's job. Huh? Midnight don't care nothing about that. What's going on here?
Midnight didn't give a fuck about what they were doing personally, Miss Omega, but Midnight do give a fuck about a person still considering to reach for something like trying to figure out where Midnight work, especially if Midnight ain't told you verbally where she works. Okay, that ain't none of their business to know what it is I'm doing, and then to try to reach for it to actually. You hear what they say? Let this play again.
Who these people? Ooh, Peach just did it again. Peach just did something today about Midnight's job. Huh? Midnight don't care nothing about that. What's going on here?
And if y'all got a screenshot or a live of that lady doing a live about her trying to figure out where I work, please do get it and send it to my inbox. Because these are all references and receipts that will be used. This is why I said I'm going to be giving y'all names. However, I'm going to give them the full clip. You know what I'm saying? The full clip. But those are most important parts of the clip that they will actually want to hear with y'all names. Okay. So that's why I did it like that as well. So if y'all actually seen a live of Peaches doing something recently, trying to reach for actually something of my new position, I would actually need that. If you got that, if you got that, let me see that. If you even got a post, send that. If Nene know about it, you better send it to somebody who can get it to midnight. You better send that shit to somebody who can get it to midnight, vice versa for Peaches. Because I do need a response from both of y'all. I do. I do. And whether I get a response from both of y'all, I'm gonna move the way I want to move in regards to this. Let the last clip play though.
Let's go. Nene is unable. Nene, come on. You sitting there watching me and stop screen. What is this? She said now a pig. The screenshot posted on the group. She need to. Something about a group. Something about Peaches in a group. What the fuck? And she swore that.
What group? This is all the question that I need to know. So first of all, I know first off that the both of y'all were still pressed around both of those time frames because I believe that was Peaches texting my phone from different text now numbers because she definitely had my number, and it definitely could have been Nene too as well. Both of them, because it was definitely somebody who had my actual number. Now we're talking about the year 25 now. Here we are still in 25. This is December though of 25. See, I started receiving text now messages from May and in June until I changed my number. But now I see that they still are dwelling and trying to figure out where men I work at. Where is it that men I working at? So I'm hearing that people are making post ups. I'm hearing that people are getting information off of people doing lives about me, trying to consider where I work. Even so far as to go into a group. What group? But that's all I need. It's that right there. That's all I need. It's just that. That's all I need right there. Was just that right there. So I know that it was y'all sending everybody those texts that had to pertain to anything of the DOC and pertain to midnight and how y'all was handing that shit out. I know that was done by y'all, and I wouldn't be surprised if you worked together on it because, like I said, at one point in time, y'all had the internet thinking that y'all was not speaking up until you were speaking within that same year. So, what group? Who did the posting? If you can find the posting, send that to me. What live did y'all find? Because again, these are people that I can't watch. Okay. How I got the facts about the matter was going to do a replay on Miss Omega Live. And a lot of the shit about Nene I got is from Ballhead Live when they were going at odds. Because again, a lot of times y'all show y'all ops alive on y'all live. So it's like you can actually see that a motherfucker still speaking on me. That's how I knew. Which brings me up to this live right here. I did a live in July on Nene, like 2 days back to back. But then that was the last live after I did that live about her. Leaving her in the back. But throughout the time when her and other creators were into it, she still were mentioning Midnight. She still were mentioning Midnight on her page because she felt like, I guess she was so pressed or bothered that I don't fuck with her or don't speak with her. You know what I'm saying? As to why both of them probably got those intentions of wanting to know where I work at so bad, but that's okay because I got y'all. Because again, y'all not finna keep on playing those kind of games with me. So I was learning from other creators' pages like Ballhead that she was still speaking on me. Now, do y'all remember a live that I did when I was actually talking and giving her advice about her worrying about her son not hitting milestones? Y'all remember that live, right? That was done on December, I want to say December the 11th. It was done the day before. I'm going to show you this clip right here. That was done the day before I did my live stream because I actually came through Facebook live that time. I was live on that time, but she was getting a response live because Nene had already went live, putting her mouth on me. Not only putting her mouth on me, she went so far as to put her mouth on my husband and my daughters, and then trying to insinuate that my daughters has been touched because their sexuality is different. So she were doing shit like that over there on her live. That's how she came about speaking on me. And that's what I responded to. Okay. So Nene had did a live within that week about her speaking on Midnight. That's first off. Speaking on Midnight's husband, insinuating that my girls have been touched because they live a different type of lifestyle. And that's when I came back and responded to Nene Live, like, what you worried about my daughter's lifestyle for when you need to be worried about why your son is not hitting milestones that he's not hitting. And honey, that's not talking about your child. That's no different than me telling you before when I said you need to do activities with your children, your other children, taking them outside the house to do activities with them. That's not talking degrading at them. Now, you already know who has degraded your children in the worst way. Midnight ain't did nothing but suggest to you what you ought to be doing with your children. Both times. When I told you that you need to get your other children about the house and do more outdoors activities with them so they can see kids of their peers, that was me advising you on doing something else with your children. That was not me degrading your children. Me degrading your children will be calling them a direct statement towards them. Not even your son. I don't call him retarded. I don't call him slow. I said your son is not hitting milestones he ought to be hitting. That's what you need to be worried about. But see, other people have degraded your children. That is a direct comment or statement to your child. Midnight has never done that. Now, I have advised you on certain things to do that you could be doing with your children, like getting your children out to do more activities with them. That's a suggestion to the adult. You're their mother. Me telling you that you ought to be worried about your son hitting milestones is not a direct dig at him. That's to you of telling you what you should be more concerned and worried about. So when you talk about Midnight has degraded or talked about your child, no, you got me twisted and mixed up with other people, honey. Because Midnight had not made not one comment direct at your children, calling them nappy headed, calling them ugly. That ain't never came out of my mouth, honey. So you got me twisted and misconstrued. Midnight ain't did nothing but advise you. When I told you that you need to get your other children outdoors a little bit more so they can see people of their peers, that's advisement to you. What I told you about how you need to be concerned about your youngest son, you would have heard from his doctor. You would have heard from his teacher. You would have heard from any concerned parent. That's telling you that you should have more focus in that area instead of more so focusing on strangers. Now, other creators have took direct digs at your kids, not me, not me. So let's fix that narrative right there. Not me. What I have did was suggested to you other things that you could be doing with your children. I never took a direct dig at your children. I never called them ugly. I never called them nappy headed. I never called them dirty. You ain't never heard me talk like that about your kids. Nobody has never heard me talk about no one's children or grandchildren in that manner or in that order. You have heard other direct digs of other people from other people pertaining your kids. Midnight ain't never did it. That was me advising you. That wasn't me advising you. That was strictly advice to you. That, yep, you need to get your other kids about the house and get them around people of their peers. Kids want to see other kids. Kids want to do activities that kids do. And they do want to be around people of their peers. And then, like I said, when you thought you were putting your mouth on my daughters and insinuating that they have been touched because they live a different lifestyle than you agree with, that ain't your business, first of all. And what my daughters do or what they choose to do. But you insinuate that my daughters have been touched, you all the way off, honey. So you were having your mouth on me when I wasn't even thinking about you in a time like that. So that's another reason to, it's very valid that you could definitely be so pressed that you are also one of them people wanting to know what midnight work at. Because y'all already had my address. Y'all leaked that a while ago. Y'all leaked that information a while ago. So it ain't no fact of, oh, trying to look me up. Nobody didn't have to look midnight up. Y'all were just simply trying to figure out where I worked. That was your primary concern. Y'all did not know that. Y'all already knew my address. Y'all already knew that. That's something y'all knew. You didn't know where I worked at, though. And I didn't tell you that. So for somebody to find that I was with the DOC, that is because you digged and you were digging in places you had no business digging in. Point blank and period. So again, what you and Peaches can do for me is explain what post it is, who was that telling Omega that, what group, because I know that was y'all who was doing that. That was y'all who was sending that to everybody. That was y'all who was sending that shit to Sis Glam. That was y'all sending that shit to even Omega. That was y'all. That was y'all texting my personal line with that bullshit from them text now numbers, because everybody from the internet ain't got my number. I can count on my hand how many people I gave my number to. A few, very few people have my number on this internet. Very few. But did you or Nene ever have my number? Yes, y'all did have that number. The number that y'all were sending that shit to, y'all had. And a few others. Literally, when I say a few, I literally mean a few. But since y'all felt like y'all want to still reach in that narrative, and the point of that is because y'all did not know where I worked. It wasn't that y'all needed to know nothing else. Y'all already had showed Midnight in so many words that y'all knew everything else. And then, like I said, what I find to be really cool is that y'all want the internet to believe that y'all really different, but till we're almost where you not, because you were able to even speak with this lady. Y'all were communicating with one another. So are y'all in kind of cahoots with doing a lot of shit that y'all do? But that's okay if you are in cahoots with it, because I've already figured it out, like I said. Now, y'all can surely respond, and like I said, I'm really not really caring too much to hear your response, because y'all talk in circles. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talk in circles and y'all point fingers. Y'all play blame games all the time. But from those clips and then listening to the rest of that shit, it seems like that's why y'all were all over there on that lady live trying to make a plea of bring me up on this live, and she couldn't get y'all up. It wasn't meant for me to even hear y'all statements, but you could put it out there. And like I said, if y'all came across a live that lady Peaches was supposed to have been doing around 25 sometime about midnight and trying to really figure out where midnight work at, please do hit that in my inbox. If y'all seen any posts up on Nene page that pertains to either her knowing about where that information come from or ask her where she get the information from. I need to know. Dead ass. Like, I need to know. Dead ass. Cause I'm not finna keep on playing this preschool shit with y'all. Y'all don't get to keep on playing with me in that manner. I don't care who y'all choose to go out there and pick to be y'all victim, but you don't get to keep choosing midnight to be your victim. You don't get to choose me as the person that you want to make a victim out of. Because see, I'm finna only make a believer out of y'all. I'm giving them y'all names. I'm giving them your name. And I do know your date of birth, both of you. So it don't even matter. You don't get to keep on choosing that route with me at all, because y'all do that with so many other people, and see, so many other people have not really cared about that. But y'all also probably have not reached for those people the way that y'all trying to reach for me and my livelihood. And that means that shows midnight that y'all very bothered by me. Y'all bothered by my whole existence. Y'all bothered by my whole being. And that's something that I cannot help. But I'm not going to keep allowing nobody to play with me in that narrative. Not at all. Y'all bothered by my existence. You bothered by my life. You bothered by my success. You bothered by everything that it is about me. You're bothered. Okay? But again, you don't keep getting a chance to choose me to be a victim to what y'all do on the internet. You don't get a chance to keep on doing that with not me. You don't keep getting a chance to do that. So if y'all feel like y'all want to actually be honest for once in your life, you get that info to somebody who can shoot it my way. Okay? Let me hear you before I actually go about, because I'm going back to work on Tuesday and I'm gonna handle this when I go back. I'm gonna be giving y'all, I'm gonna be giving some names to y'all. Give them people y'all names. I'm definitely finna make some real choices on y'all, and I'm finna be in a position to where y'all gonna have to think about what y'all really be doing when it comes to anybody information. Okay? When it comes to anybody information, when it comes to anybody demographics, because y'all don't like it when, or maybe y'all don't care when motherfuckers actually look y'all up, because maybe y'all the ones behind all them pages that present themselves on other people's lives. Y'all are two people who enjoy talking to fake pages. I think I did a live when I seen that, okay, before Nene was actually blocked off of my page. I also asked her about, why do so many of these fake pages who follow you that try to follow me and come in my comment section all wrong? Why do they follow you? You allow these people to follow you in their fake pages. Why? Then when people were sending me shit about Peaches, oh yeah, we definitely know that she talked to fake pages. A lot of those fake pages were some of the same pages that were also in my block list when Facebook was allowing you to see your block list. How are you actually following these pages and allowing these pages to follow you? Y'all, and then y'all got the same pages following one another. So I think I did a few lives like that before too, where it was questionable. Like, why do they follow and base damn near look the same? Like the same fake pages that follow Nene also follow her page. The very same fake pages that follow her follows her. They follow each other. Like it don't make no bit of sense to me, man. But for y'all to be so pressed about midnight and y'all was worried about midnight like that, y'all about should have went on about y'all business like the rest of the motherfucking women did. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all about should have did. You know what I'm saying? Went on y'all business and went about your business like them other women did. But y'all so pressed behind midnight behind for some reason that you wanted to know where I worked so bad because you trying to get my job taken. Let me go back to them clips again. We finna listen to that shit again. Okay? From the first one to the last one.
Go sit down, obese ass churn, bitch. Somebody telling Nene to take down a post, a screenshot before Peaches and before Midnight sees this screenshot that Peach is trying to take Joanne's new job. What the hell is that about? Hell.
And if anybody know of that kind of information, again, my inbox is open for it all. I'm telling y'all that it is. I want to know if anybody come across that or can or may have took screenshots of that and has a way of getting it to my inbox. Please do send it. Please do send it because I definitely want to see it. Because no, I didn't see any posters like that. That's what I'm saying. What posters? But clearly they making this shit known because they being very loud with what they're doing. Let this next one play.
It's Nene got a screenshot and posted where your Peaches knows Midnight's new job. Who is that? I'm going live. Dominique said she going live. Well, go live.
So that gives me the narrative that she was getting that from a fake page and that Nene is saying that she's going live about that. Hmm. Do y'all remember Nene going live about that? Somebody let me know.
Who these people? Ooh, Peach just did it again. Peach just did something today about Midnight's job. Huh? Midnight don't care nothing about that. What's going on here?
Midnight don't care nothing about them, Miss Omega. But Midnight is going to press the issue about those two press broads constantly trying to press an issue about trying to figure out knowing where I work. Now that's where I have a problem with. Don't care too much about what they choose to do on the internet because they grown women, they gonna do what they want to do. But when it comes to them pressing and trying to know so much of what it is that I do, and that's something that they found out, that's what I care about. The rest of that shit is obsolete to me. I don't care about what they do. But when they actually still, looking right there, I care about that. Let this last one play.
Let's go. Nene is unable. Nene, come on. You sitting there watching me and stop screen. What is this? She said now a pig. The screenshot posted on the group. She need to. Something about a group. Something about Peaches in a group. What the fuck? If she swore that.
What group? So listen, again, my question it is, where's this post? Where are these posts that Nene's supposed to have captured or whatever of these posts of Peaches supposedly known trying to know where I work? What live? Okay. Can y'all actually remember a live that Nene or Peaches did in between that time frame? If you know and you got a little info and you think it's going to be beneficial to Midnight, send it my way. What group? Okay. What group are we talking about where this information, where a motherfucker is putting that I'm working for the DOC and they putting it in a group? Please send that my way, y'all. If you got it, because my inbox is open. And whether or not them two ladies give me the type of response I need to hear, I'm going to move with my receipts that I have here with that little log of all them text now numbers. Those going to be some new numbers added to the motherfucking number that Sis gave me now because I was able to go on my old phone out in my phone and get that out of my block list. So I'm going to also add those numbers in to the number that's already been turned in because those I can guarantee you are connected to all of the same person or multiple people. I can guarantee you, but these people have my personal number. But the people who are responsible for that also are people who once had my personal number before it changed. Before it changed, they had my personal number. So if you got any of them receipts, please send it my way. But whether I get a receipt or not, I got enough. I think based off of the investigation I did alone for my damn self is enough. Okay? But if anybody got a post that girl had either obtained or made pertaining to anybody trying to find my job, send me that. If anybody got a live of either one of them, send me that. If you know of a group that they have or created, send me that too. My inbox is open. And I would love to hear what the both of them got to say about it. Because like I said, I got y'all names and y'all date of birth. That's all I need. It's really your legal name. And that's something that I already got. But I could do you one better. I know y'all date of births. Okay. All of those numbers that I just dug in my phone on my block list will be added to that one number that I already screened. It will. And that's at least 6 or 7 different text now numbers. When I changed to my number, that all stopped. Okay? They were not able to no longer text my phone. Okay? They were no longer able to text my phone with that crap after I changed to my number, and was very pressed, might I add, now that I think about it, was very bothered when I changed my number. Very bothered when my number changed because you couldn't now formally harass me with those messages. They were very bothered too with the fact that I changed my number. Because now you don't get a chance to text me the way that you were texting me, those long paragraphs that you thought Midnight was reading. You don't get to text me like that when I changed my number. So if any of y'all got that information for me, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm open for. I'm open to that. I'm only going to be receptive to information like that if it pertains to any of that. You understand me? Any of it. If you got any of that information, or you one of these people that watch both people and you kind of don't trust neither one of them, but you be like, oh, it's a shame. Look, let me get this because that one be doing too much. And then look what they doing. And that one, if you got that kind of thing going on, inbox my page with it because I definitely want to see. But whether information comes through or not, enough is enough and enough has been said. Enough is enough and enough has already been said and enough has already been done. And it's enough with y'all playing with people info and their jobs and where they work, where people lay their heads. That's done with and done for, at least over here it is. Y'all don't get to play with me and think that that's okay because some people allow y'all to play with them and they don't do nothing about it. But this will be the second time around for Midnight. And see, this is why I say that be personal for me. It be so personal because for me not to even have a likeness for neither one of them, I don't care to reach for them in that manner. And I don't deal with neither one of them. Don't deal with neither one of them. Don't care too much for neither one of them either. Don't hate them, but I don't care for them. But I don't care for them enough to even want to do that much. People always talk about like how you supposed to be able to move around or how they expect a motherfucker to just go on about their business. But y'all not even really going on about y'all business because in the background or behind the scenes, y'all doing foolery. Foolery that y'all never thought that nobody was going to ever catch or see. That's what be so crazy to me. So yeah, again, I'm looking forward to a response from both of them. And like I said, y'all got a way of getting that over here. There's people that follow me that follow both of y'all. They follow me as well. You better go through them. You better go through them because I'm telling you, I want to hear something from you. I want to hear something from you. I want to hear something from you. What y'all still looking hard at midnight for, trying to figure out what it is midnight doing? Why is that still a concern for either you or Nene or Peaches? Why is that a concern for neither one of y'all at this point? Why is that a concern for either one of y'all, that y'all care to know that bad about where I work and what I'm doing? Why is that still a care to y'all? And since it's still such a care for y'all, I'ma handle y'all. Okay. With that being said, y'all can share this live and y'all can watch this one on the replay. But if anybody got any of those things that I am looking for, which is any kind of post that you may have seen Nene make as it pertains to her saying that, oh, Peaches know what I work at. If you have seen any lives done by either one of them as it pertains to them mentioning anything about midnight, let me see it. If you know about a group that was supposedly made that they could be dumping the information that pertains to midnight in, let me know. Let me know. Oh, I know, sis. After me going through my phone, I got clips of, I got some, y'all know them clips that I got. I got clips of that lady saying that she's shisty. I got clips of that lady saying that she looks people up. It's been already out here. It's been already placed out here. Y'all just upset that midnight don't have to do the hoop and the hollering like y'all do. See, that was the old midnight. I don't even know. I don't even have to really, I don't even hoop and holler when I'm actually directing y'all in y'all place. I could still be talking just like this in this type of tone and get y'all together. That's what y'all hate, that y'all don't raise my blood pressure over here. Y'all not raising my pressure. Meanwhile, y'all pressures are being hiked up. Mine's is as steady, rock steady. Mine's gonna rock steady because I don't let nobody on this internet get me like that. Uh-uh. Not even with the last two recent lives I done did. I'm talking in a comments voice that I can talk in, but I still need answers though. You understand me? But no, y'all don't spike my pressure up. No, you don't. That was the 2021 midnight. Used to get up on here and jap out on y'all in that type of tone. But see, when I actually come up on here now, I just direct y'all the way I need to direct you, kind of like what I'm doing right now. And still be killing you. And still be killing you with kindness. Just like that. I think you envy that. I think y'all really be envying that for real. But listen, people, because it's always somebody always catch a little bit of something, and they may not know how to get it to me, or they may feel like I don't want to get it to her because I don't want to seem like I'm a shit starter. So I'm asking y'all for it. So now it's a different narrative now. So if you do have it, you don't have to worry about it. So if you have captured something like that and you were thinking in the back of your mind, I want midnight to really see this. I want midnight to really hear this, but I don't want to seem like a shit starter to her, or I don't want to seem like a bone carrier. Listen, I understand your whole motive of why you didn't bring it, but I'm asking y'all for it this time. I'm actually asking you for it. I'm asking you for it. So if you caught those clips, if you got them screenshots, if you got anything that y'all can show me, because I know that these two ladies were considering so pressed about wondering what it is I do for work. If you got that, send it to me. It's a different narrative now. I'm asking y'all for it. Because I can understand that some people probably, because I know the internet does what the internet does, and some people probably are sending back screen recording like a MF, but they don't want to send this to my way because they don't want me to think that they're a shit starter, a bone carrier, something like that. So they really don't really know how to get that to me. But if you on this live right now, I'm asking for it. So my inbox is open. My inbox open. It's open for it. Send that this way. Because enough is enough. I'm sick of it. I've been sick of it. But again, y'all don't get to make me y'all victim. I'm going to show you better. I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. You don't get to make me a victim again. The way that y'all tried to reach for me and my livelihood the first time. You're not finna do this a second time with me. You're not finna do this a second time when it comes to me. You're not. So with that being said, I said what I said. Y'all got anything additional that can add to what I already got? Send that my way. If you know somebody that definitely watch Midnight, you can send that kite this way. You better go through them. Because I'm definitely looking for a response from both of y'all. I'm giving y'all that much benefit of doubt. But I want to hear you first. And like I said, if y'all talking in circles like y'all always do, which I know it's going to be that because I can't expect shit different out of what I've seen this entire time. It ain't going to be nothing different. It ain't going to be nothing but a lot of tongue talking, tongue twisting, beating around the bush, running in circles. None of that. It ain't going to be nobody coming up front being honest about nothing. So I'm already expecting to hear some BS anyway. But I know that both of y'all were still wondering, trying to figure out where I work. And that was y'all sending everybody that bull. That was y'all texting my phone when you were sending it to me. Now, y'all all can be easy on this good Sunday. Like I said, my inbox is open for it. These are all um pieces of receipt that will be used against someone. Okay. And then I'm going to even probably go further back because I got too many good pieces of a receipt to show a person why I feel like they will be that grimy. I got so many receipts to show, not just what I just showed. I got so much more to be able to prove that this is why this person is so envious of me. And the funny thing of it is they don't know me. They never actually met me. Never actually formally met me. They don't know me outside of the internet. They don't know me, but they so bothered of my existence and what it is that I do. My life. My life. And that's all I truly got to say. That's it. That's it. That's all right there. You don't get to play with Midnight twice. I'm sorry. In that kind of manner. Mm-mm. Go play with your mammy, but don't play with me. Go play with your kids if you need or your grandkids, but don't play with me. I'm not the one, nor the two or the three. Go find something safe to do. I appreciate all y'all coming down this way. I'll be watching my live on the replay, trying to respond to a lot of y'all responses, but when I get to talking, I gotta get to talking and get it all out the way I need to get it all out. And that is just what it is. But I appreciate everybody coming down here to listen. And like I said, if you want to share, you can share. Okay? Get it out there because it's going to get to who it needs to get to. And I want to definitely hear a response. I'm looking for that, matter of fact. And you better go through somebody who watch you and me because both of y'all got people on y'all platforms that mutually watch y'all just like they mutually watch me. You better send a kite through them. With that being said, this is your girl Midnight, your most favorite agent. Y'all be easy. I'm out of here.